Welcome to class 43 of Python programming. We'll discuss matplotlib and this is class 3. Mesh grid is one of the important concept in matplotlib. I'll tell you the use of this first, then we'll come back to this one. Suppose you have these points and you need to predict this point means what? Here for this x, y is this. 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 And you need to predict y for this x. So what we do is we draw a line that is called regression line. Even if required, you can draw this type of a graph. Maybe it's better than regression, but yeah, we have to check a lot of things. Number of parameters will be more, but it's possible. However, if you want to go with linear regression, it's simple and less complicated as compared to the other one, the quadratic one, or maybe the cubic one. So if we draw a line like this, that means here, though we got this, we'll accept this one. Here, we'll accept this one. So with some error only, we can draw a graph. This already you know, this is regression line. This line will not pass through all the points, but there will be errors. At this point, this happened, but we will accept this one. This is called regression. Here you have one variable, here you have one variable, x and y. So if you have only two axes, it's very simple. You can draw this line and then you can forecast, because this is the line and at this point, this will happen. So normally this is continuous. If the points are given, if you have task, if you have a different task, suppose you want to classify, we'll use classification as well. We'll go to that later, comparing regression, classification, all those things. But now we'll not do all those stuff. Let's concentrate here. So one independent variable, one dependent variable. This is the target and this is the feature in terms of machine learning. And this is the predictor, we say in statistics and actual science. Now come to this one. Again, in linear regression, you will have so many variety. I'm not going to that. We have three axes now. This is x, then y axis, here z axis. Then for one pair of x and y, you will have a z. Okay. So this way, you have to go this way, x, and then you come here. That's equivalent to coming this way, okay. Go here, come here. This is a field. Now you have to go up, then you will reach here. So this is 3D. I can give you one example. Suppose you want to use two variables to predict the third one. Here you are using X and predicting Y. You can say demand, supply, whatever you have, okay? Suppose according to the age of the car, the claim payments. You can say that. Here, two are given. Suppose two are given. The time you are spending studying and the amount of time you are spending every day, suppose 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever you can spend. And here Y, you can take another variable, the amount of money you can say you have or you spend for your studies. So two things will determine your final result. So what will happen here? X and Y, two variables are there, and we want to predict Z. So what will happen for a pair of points X and Y? You have 1 point here. For X, you have Y. For XY, you have Z. Or maybe you can take height and weight, and Z is your result, or maybe your BMI. So it will depend on your height and weight. So these are the two variables. You will get 1. So if you concentrate on these points, finally, like here I had points. I'll draw points here. This is 1 point, this is 1 point, this is 1 point, this is 1 point. Okay. Then I wanted to find a line which could possibly pass through all the points. Even if it will not pass through all the points, with error we can consider. There is no problem. Here, we'll try to draw one plane. Which can pass through all the points. It will not pass through all the points. Yeah. I mean, when I say plane, you can extend this one. See, this line is not finite, okay? Here. Similarly, plane, every side it will be there. So some point will be there on this plane, some point will not be there. But for this X, we accepted this Y so that we can make a formula here. Similarly, here for this X and this Y, you have a Z, okay? Corresponding to this X and this Y, suppose Z is this point. If this is on the plane, that's fine. If it's not on the plane, suppose this is outside, this is outside, this is outside, okay? It doesn't matter. But we'll see, we'll find the error. You draw a perpendicular to this plane. It's like this. This is a plane. This is a point. You have to draw a perpendicular. Okay. Here, what we do is we see these distances and then we find the sum of squares. Sum of squares should be minimum. Here, what will happen? If you have distances from the plane, okay, you make it sure that this is the best fit here. So how can you draw a graph using Matplotlib? I will show you one here. We'll do this one in ML regression. In ML class, machine learning class, here if you check, we have a graph, whatever I explained. These are the points. So what you need to do is, you have a 3D graph first of all. Now we are doing 2D graphs. Second is, you have to draw a scatter plot, and it's a 3D plot, the points, the blue ones. Then you have to draw a plane. Okay. So for drawing a plane, you will have code. For the scatter things, you will have a code. And for 3D also, you have code, Python code. We'll do this later. But for the time being, you can just see it. In ML class, we'll do. The purpose of mesh grid is to create a rectangular grid out of an array of X values and an array of Y values. Here, see the simple one. Again, I need to come here. We'll start with this one. The first thing for you is to get points like this. Then you define a function. If you write z is a function of x and y, any function of x and y. Suppose I write z is x square plus y square. Then what will happen? For all points, for all these points, suppose this is the point 1, 1, or you can write 0, 0. You will get 1 square plus 1 square. Similarly, for all points, whatever number of points you will have, you apply the function, and finally, I'm not saying always you will get a plane like this. We have so many shapes, okay? 3D shapes. Sometimes you will get like this. I'll show you later. The graph could be like this. Okay? This kind of a graph, 3D graph. So it depends how you are doing. If you take x square plus y square, if you write z square is x square plus y square, that means square root, you will get a different graph, right? But remember, these are the points you have to first of all get, then you take this function, and then you will get the original graph, this 3D graph. Now let's draw in 2D mesh grid. If you check here, what is new, what is not new. Import numpy as np, that's fine. If you are not compatible with this, na will take 5, nb will take 5, 3. Okay. Separately also you can write na is 5 and 3. In the tuple form we have written. So if you have never seen this way, we have other ways as well. Ultimately, it should be easy. So na nb, then here You have to write 5 3. First of all, why to write this? Directly you write 5 3. That is also possible. Anyway, will not change it. 1 to 2. How many numbers you have? 5 times. I mean, in total, starting point, ending points are given. Linspace. Here, linspace 1 to 2, but we want 3. Okay. Now, this is the function we are studying today. Leave it for the time being. Forget about this. Then you can print A, print B. Already you had. You see the output. A here, 1 to 2. Total number of points are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, print B. In B, 3 numbers between 1 to 2, including 1 and 2. 1, 1.5, 2. So this we have already done. These are not new. Now come to this single line. Here again, XA, XB. You need a pair here. So mesh grid function, it will take 2 parameters. Here we are giving numbers, these numbers. In output, you will get modified A and B. So for modified A, I have written XA. For modified B, I have written XB. So I will get XA, XB. Now if I print XA and XB, how it looks like? Check, it's totally different. That is what you need to understand. What mesh grid will provide you. Okay, let me go here once again. It's like this. If I have 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3, if you repeat the numbers, okay, you see here, see 1 is repeated, 1.5 is repeated, 2 is repeated in XB. But in XA, how it's repeated? All the numbers you have written, then you have repeated. Here individual numbers are repeated. Okay. So suppose here also I'll write 1, 2, 3. Here you have to repeat individual numbers. Okay. Here all the numbers. How many times you want me to repeat? 2 times or maybe 4 times. Suppose 2 times. And here 4 times. Here 2 times I've repeated. Here I will repeat 2 times. How I will repeat? There will be a mismatch. So 1, 1, 1. Then 2, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3. Suppose I want a mesh grid here. So this number will be this one and this one. See 1, 1. You go to matrix algebra. Okay. 1, 1 here. And then 1, 1. I've written here. Okay. 1, 1. Then here 2, 1, 3, 1. Okay. See here 2, 1, 3, 1. Then comes this one 1, 2, 1, 3, column by GPUC, row by GPUC, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. Okay. This way you will get if you repeat row wise here, column wise here, or maybe row by single number. Now see here, 1 to 2, 5 numbers we had, we have repeated this way. And here column wise, we have repeated. Okay. So this is the work here. Input and output. Input already you know, whatever function you want to use, not necessarily linspace. We want numbers as inputs and then two things you will get, but this way you will get. If you input 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here, okay, then you will get this way. Now it depends how many numbers you are sending. Now see next one, we'll get a mesh grid here. Mesh grid when you get, you have to give x values, y values. Here this is a numpy array, this is a numpy array. You can send a list also here and here, not a problem. So here if you send two arrays, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, here you will get the proper grid. You see this way. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means according to this one, it's 0, 0, okay, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, sorry, 0, 0, this is 0, 0, this is 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, that way, okay, 4, 0, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4. So these are the numbers you will get. So how you get, I already discussed. Marker, this one, if you change this one to some other thing, you get a other way. Color, okay, line style, you need not to worry about this. Important thing is dot plot you need to write. And when you plotted before, remember we wrote x and y. Here in place of x and y, you need to write here xxyy, okay. Xxyy are this mesh grid values, okay. I mean these are the output from this function. That's why you are getting this way, otherwise you will not get this way. That is the only function you are using here. Now so x and y they are same. Instead of 10 numbers, we have taken 50 numbers here. So 50 numbers mean they are so close. You make it 70. In coding, there is nothing more, right? These values are inputs and these are outputs. That's all. Name change. See this one with 70 numbers. You go to 100. You will not be able to know. Okay. Still, these are coming. You make it 1000. It's totally black now. They are so close that will not be able to differentiate. Okay. Dot by dot. We added all the dots here. We got this way. Okay. This one, this graph, sorry. What is that? Yeah, this one only. 10 I've taken. Here also, here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, you can count 10 cross 10, okay? Now let's use a mesh grid here. See, we had already A and B before as input. A and B, you apply the function, give input, take output, okay? Now X and XB you have, using this X and XB, then square the first number. Remember, I discussed already in word file, square the first number, square the second number, and divide it by square of both the numbers. Okay. So Now you have to plot. It's not a dot plot, okay? Remember here, we use PLOT to get these. But now, if you go here, we just printed, you see. There is no plot also. Dot plot is not here even here. If you print, you will get like NumPy. Here, the values. Go here. Why it's single bracket, it's double bracket or no?
So first one is ND array, second one 2D array.
How 2D?
2 brackets.
No, that's why 2D array, where you saw 2D array? You have to explain.
So the closing bracket is 2, sir.
No. I mean, I'm asking why 2?
Sir, so that only we can plot, sir.
Yeah,
You said extracting the data.
yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Continue. I'll show you. So here, this one is a 2D array. This one is a 2D array. That's how. Okay, so that's over. Now you have to write counter here instead of plot. See, plotting was not there. Here we use plot to plot these points, but here you have to use this function. Okay, now what will happen for all AB? Okay, you have to write we have a new Z, but Z is not a function of AB, that is a function of X and XB. When I say that is a function of X and XB, it will depend on X and XB. So you the initial values and the final Z value you have to write. Then if you run this one, you will get this. Okay, so it's already run. Just see it this way. Now suppose let me make it only, I will take F here. Then how you get? See, it looks this way. There is a difference between contour and contour F. When you write F, everything is colored here. Okay, here the minimum things colored. Remember that way. Okay. Now go to this one. Here you have written black and there is no F here. You see? See like this. If you try to change this, okay, let me explain how this is different from at least the coding. We used only another one variable Z. Here through function. See, this is a function X and Y. F is a function of X and Y, return NP, whatever. This function in return you will get. So here Z is a function of XY. For this kind of a function call with these values, okay, so this the function will return and you have written XYZ. This one, I mean, not that important, the black, red, whatever you write, okay. So check with red. Even it's very difficult to remember all these things. See, you got this one. Now if I write F here, will it have meaning? No. So it became red because everywhere it will be red. Okay. So it's this way. Again, it's a 2D one. Okay. Because we have not taken 3 points here, right? This is a 2D. For 3D, what will happen is you need to, this is another one. These are the symbols. You need not remember anything. Wherever required, you go there and you check the directory and you can check these things. You need not worry. I mean, it's impossible to remember so many uh, different ways. Somewhere we use R, somewhere we use red and RBGY. I mean, there are so many symbols. Okay, it's very, here CMAP jet. Okay, it's very difficult to remember all those, but yeah, you have to know what things you use. This one, this graph. Okay, see here, two functions you have. So nothing else we used, the same type. Coming back to this one, not back, coming to this one. Here, this type we'll use because, see, it's a 3D graph first of all. The numbers coming on x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. However, I didn't use, if I show you here, this is what we'll do in the regression class. You see the coding here. Coding uses your not only x, y, but these are the levels anyway. Scatter plot for the points, and here this one is required for 3D plot. We'll use this one there as well in our today's class, and Boston data set for prediction. But we don't have this linear regression, import linear regression, model fit XY. These are not there. Okay. So we can't, so if you want to know, you want to use all these, then you have to go back. Okay. So you have to draw this one first. Then all these things you will be needing. This one. This is the scatter plot in 3D. Then you need a plane. So when we go to machine learning, we'll do this one there. Okay. So let's not worry about that now. We'll complete this. This is the complete line. You can change anything. Okay. So we need import AXCS3D. Okay. This you have to write because this one will use, and this is here. MPL underscore toolkits dot MPLOT3D. Okay. This you need not worry. Just write this way, whatever way it is. Now, capital M here, np.random.ren 10 10 10, you know this, and figure AX I discussed last time. We're using subplot here, 111 projection 3D. This way you have to write, and range 10 we have written, counter or whatever you write. Now you send these numbers. Okay, here all are same. Then what will happen, whatever numbers you will get there, here you write scatter here. We know already scatter plot in 2D. In 3D, if you draw a scatter plot, you have to write all are equal now. See, that way you got this. But how many colors you have? So row, column, I think 10 cross 10 cross 10, 1000 points are here. For the time being, if you want to see this way, okay, why to write more and make the things complicated? See the difference. We started with a 2D plot. For 3D, extra functionality you need. Okay. and 3 you have to write. And we are using subplot here. If I didn't complete last time, we'll have another class. I will check, okay? If I didn't complete subplot last time, because that will even take half an hour, maybe I introduced last time, we need another class for that, because many places will use. Just remember, we write this way. Projection 3D, you have to write. And here only one plot, okay? Though we have written here subplot we are using, but we have only one plot. You can have two, like 5 lines, 10 plots. So you need not worry here. It's like plotting only. So the function we use is this one, mesh grid. These are the values you get, and you just write dot scatter, you will get this. So if you know how to create this kind of a thing, then in multiple regression, we'll see how can we draw a hyperplane, the other plane. Scatter plot you will be able to draw, then we'll draw the hyperplane, then we'll see how many points are on the plane, how many outside, what is the error. That way it will be useful there. We need another class for matplotlib. Class is over for today. Thank you.